I think we're live. Yes, we are. We are live streaming across the Combat Culture Network. It's another night. It's another time to fight. I am Matt Ryan. I will be calling the action for you tonight without Brendan Sokler. Family and personal obligations sending him on a bit of a break ski, but I'm here with you, leaning and rocking with you live for UFC 277. We will break down the card and break down what we've seen so far in just a moment, but I want you to be a part of the conversation. So all night tonight, let us talk in the chat. I'm going to shout you guys out. And also, if you want to give me some
straight cash, homie.
One more time, if you want to give us some
straight cash, homie,
with a super chat, you can do that on YouTube. If you're watching us on Facebook and you want to give us some
straight cash, homie, just
search Combat Culture on YouTube. And I am so excited for tonight's card, guys. 2 title fights, 1 interim title fight, and 1 big ass rematch. And shout out to Adrian Sansamia. He is a long time on the Facebook. Glad he is joining us here tonight. We got Tara in Cleveland. Am I ready to watch Upset Volume 2? It is interesting, and I noted this in my column on MMAmania.com. Julianna Pena walking in with the Striz app and coming in as an underdog, coming at about plus 225 the last time I checked on DraftKings. So gonna be interesting tonight. What version of each fighter do we see? I'm more on the side of title retention, but I don't know. There's a lot of questions. We'll figure out and see if we can get some answers. Shout out to Matt2377. Shabbat Shalom from PHC836 in Tel Aviv. Thank you. No matter where you are, whether you're in Bayonne or Beirut, we're so happy you spend your fight nights with us here at Combat Culture. And if you do want to get involved in some of that sweet violent action from the UFC, you want to watch along with us at home on your mobile device, on your television, I don't care how you watch, as long as you watch, you can click the link in our description. Shout out to Ricardo Emmanuel. What is up to you, my friend? Glad you are joining us here tonight. Watching Pat McAfee give a Hurricane Rana to Happy Corbin. I want to talk about this as a fan of both sports and a person who works in both sports. The WWE scheduled SummerSlam on a Saturday night. For the second straight month, they've done a pay-per-view on a Saturday night. The same night as a UFC card. Last month, they were both in Las Vegas. Tonight, UFC in Dallas and the SummerSlam event in Nashville. And who the farted Carne Asad, dude. That's a good one. I like that one. But it really sucks because I wanted to watch this SummerSlam card for the reason everybody else wanted to watch SummerSlam outside of Pat McAfee, who's doing a great job so far. Wanted to see what the hell happens tonight, and we've seen some wild stuff in pro wrestling, and if you want to talk pro wrestling, let me know in the chat. We'll be talking all things mixed martial arts, and let's go through the card real quick. So far, we have seen Oren Kosi take out Mike Mathena by unanimous decision, and then in our second fight of the night, Nicole Negramu faced off against Igor Pretoria. Negramu got the TKO win using knees and punches in the second round. Ji-Hyun Kim ended up taking a split decision loss to Jocelyn Edwards in our third fight of the evening. Michael Morales dropped Adam Fugit by TKO in round number 3. Drakkar Klose getting a win over Rafa Garcia by unanimous decision, and Dontel Mays getting beat by Hamdi Abdelwahab by split decision, 29-28, 28-29, and 29-28. Going to be interesting coming out of that one. We got Rafael Alves and Drew Dober. Dober dropping Alves with a body punch 90 seconds into round number 1. That is a card so far for UFC. Montserrat asking, where is other guy? Other guy could not be here tonight, but it's a party because this is my 3rd anniversary of being here with Combat Culture. Started with MMA Mania 3 years ago with a Bellator event. 3 years later, we're doing all the UFC pay-per-views. We're coming to you from interesting places, and I'm really happy to be celebrating my 3rd anniversary with you guys here tonight for the card with UFC 277. And also, on tonight's card, we've got Alex Moreno going up against Matthew Selmsberger. That'll be our final prelim of the evening. And then we've got the main card, Magomed Ankalaev going up against Anthony Smith. We got Alexandra Pantoja taking on Alex Perez. Derrick Lewis taking on Sergei Pavlovich. Brendan Moreno taking on Kai Kara France. And then in our main event, Julianna Pena taking on Amanda Nunes, the rematch from last year. So excited to see what happens. I'm so excited to see what you guys think, what you predict. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to be walking out with the win. And if you're putting a little bit of money into the old DraftKings fund and dropping some bets tonight, let us know, and we'll be dropping in the chat a little bit later on tonight ways you can get involved and get a first free bet from our friends over at DraftKings. And the person dropping that off will be Stephanie Sotilli. She is our moderator in the chat. She's always on the other side of the metaphorical glass. She'll be joining us a little bit later on in the studio. But excited to have Steph here, and thank you so much to Matt2377, Who the F Farted, and Toker88. I'm very happy to be here for 3 years. Surprised I made it through the first one, but I am glad to be here with you guys tonight. Angel Durant saying Nunes all the way. Interesting to me why we end up in these situations where Pena had to decide. It wasn't a split decision. It wasn't something to where she didn't win the fight emphatically. She won it with a finish. And a lot of people still give because they respect Amanda Nunes' game. They respect her as a fighter. They respect her, overall, that it's hard to fade her. It's hard to fade her, even with her tapping in the second round of a title fight. You can, if you want to do whataboutism, if you want to create a straw man for Julianna Pena being the underdog, coming off of the birth of her child, coming off of a COVID scare, getting sick and having to come back from that. Also, she made a ton of bank. Dana White brought it up too. Like, that was not the same fighter that defeated Ronda Rousey, that dominated divisions, that became a double champion. Maybe this loss reset it for her. I think we talked about that, me and Brendan, last year when that fight happened. So it will be interesting to see what Amanda Nunes and what Julianna Pena we get inside the octagon. Thanks, John Miller. WWE is BS. I thought he had a Steve Austin photo for his chat thing, and I was very confused. But you can have your opinions. Pro wrestling is the greatest sport on planet Earth, but that's just my opinion. You can have a wrong opinion and say it's not. But we're here with you tonight, and yes, click the link in the description for a $500 risk-free bet for UFC 277. It is going to be a fun night here tonight. I want to know what you guys think is going to be the best fight of the night. Anytime you have Derrick Lewis getting inside the octagon, it is going to be interesting. It is going to be one hell of a fight. And I cannot wait to see what Derrick Lewis does against Sergei Pavlovich, who sounds like he played for the Hartford Whalers in the late 1980s. And, let us know what you think of the show so far. If you want to donate some cash to the Super Chat, you can go
Great cash, homie.
And go to the Super Chat. Or you can also just like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell if this is your first time, your second time, or if you're a long time or a last time. We just want you to like, comment, and subscribe. Be a part of the conversation. And if you like me, you can follow me on Twitter at Matt Ryan Yells. That is at Matt Ryan Yells. You see it right below my name right there. Who the F farted asking the hard questions. Why are hemorrhoids called hemorrhoids and not asteroids? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But we're going to have a lot of questions answered here tonight. And Pat McAfee jumping up to the top rope and now going for a superplex on a 6'7" man. I love pro wrestling. Nothing can be better than pro wrestling when it's done right. And he hits the superplex, and we're going over to UFC 277. Get that locked and loaded. Eric Carter saying, I fell in love with Julianna when she was on The Ultimate Fighter. She is an easy fighter to love. She's an easy personality to love. She's got a great story. There's a lot of things about her that you can definitely be a fan of and you can definitely root for. But it's really hard to bet against Amanda Nunes. Really, 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 really hard. And I don't want to fade Pena, but it feels disrespectful to do that to Nunes, and we're entering the next round of our final fight of the preliminary card. Vlad the Impaler saying Lesnar takes out Reigns. Also, I don't see that happening. I would not be a fan of them doing that title change, but who knows? And the doctor checking on one of the fighters right now, I do believe that is Matthew Selmesberger, whose left eye His left eye looks like it's turning into the grimace. It is lumpy. It is purple. It's just a huge grimacy welt right underneath his eye. It is the color of Clarets, the old candy, the purple box candy. I don't know if anybody remembers that flying knee by Smellersberger, and he takes Moreno down and just pike out the motherfucker with a running knee. And we're 15 seconds into the third round, and this one is a motherfucker at welterweight. Smellersberger in top position now, trying to get into a full mount, in mount, trying to posture up. Has his hand in the face of Moreno, and now Moreno trying to climb his body as if Smellersberger was his father and he was a young child and a baby Bjorn. Who the F artist said her hands are killer. Yes, they are killer. Edgardo Melendez saying this card is BS. I like this card. Is it the card of the year? No, we dealt with that last month. But this is a good card, and we got a good card on 278. Another flying knee by Smellersberger. We are in the final fight of the prelim card. And just Moreno just punching Smellersberger in the face. Both men pressed against the fence. And his Smellersberger's mouthpiece came out. It's been a wild prelims, what I've seen so far. Devastating knockout in the last fight. And we've got Pantoja and Perez coming up. We've got some Kaikara France in the co-main event. It is going to be a very fun time. People not knowing I'm on the air and randomly messaging me things that I don't need. Nobody you guys know. Edgardo saying the prelims have been great. Yeah, they've been great, but you're shitting on the main card. If the prelims are this good, imagine how good the main card probably is going to be. With 2:59 left to go in the third round, Moreno trying to get inside the kitchen of Semmelsberger. If you looked at the fighters' faces and body language, you would think Semmelsberger was losing the fight 10-9, 10-9 across 2 rounds. And minus 350 Moreno, plus 245 Semmelsberger in live odds. If you wanted to get on that Semmelsberger live odds right now for how he started that round, and he might try to get a stop. He's got to get a stoppage here from what it looks like. The live odds do not go in his favor with 2:19 left to go in the third round. I want to know what you guys think about the main events here tonight at UFC 277 with 2:10 left to go in the third round. Body kicks now by Semmelsberger. Ooh, and Moreno missing hard with a right hand. Kick to the thighs now by Semmelsberger. Just dancing around now. Left-right combination by Moreno. And at the top of the hour, we're going to play our favorite game. What time is the walkout? We play the walkout game at the top of the hour when the pay-per-view goes live on ESPN+. Let us know what time you think the main walkouts will be, the first walkout for the first fight will be. And let us know in the chat what you think that will be. Uppercut to the body by Semmelsberger. Missing with the right hand. And just little rabbit punches by Moreno, just knitting jabs that are just kind of like mini hammer fists to the chin of Semmelsberger. And Stephanie already giving her prediction. I'll talk about that at the top of the hour. Toker88 with his prediction. 1 minute left in this fight. The second fight, the last prelim before the main card at welterweight. Looks like Moreno will survive the final 52 seconds, and he will make his way into the winner's circle. But Semmelsberger still fighting hard after having a huge welt on his eye. Pressing now, trying to get him to the fence. 38 seconds left to go. Both men fighting. Moreno trying to go for a trip takedown while basically in a waist lock. 28 seconds now. Waist lock gets turned into a variation of a cravat by Moreno into Ooh, into a Muay Thai clinch by Moreno. Selmsberger finding his way out of it, but getting pressured continuously by Moreno. Both men fighting to the final bell. Left hand let Moreno go a little loopy. Both men still standing. 5 seconds left to go in the fight. Trying to battle forward here in Dallas. A knee by Moreno, and we will go to the scorecards in the final prelim of the evening. Having some purple coffee and some water here tonight. Good God, Selmsberger's face is just... That left eye is bad. It looks like someone just took a whole bunch of grape bubble tape, chewed it up, and just wadded it on his face. It looks like if he was doing Animorphs, and his Animorph was Barney the dinosaur. That is not how you want your eye to look at any point, no matter how... It looks like an allergic reaction. Like he ate all of the blueberries and he just got his eye completely purpled. Taking a look here at the chat, we might as well start playing the game. Stephanie Sotilli saying 10-15. The Professor saying 10-17. Toker88 saying 10-19. Who the F farted saying 10-13. And as the Mr. Softy Man comes on through my neighborhood, I'm thankful for everybody watching us across the Combat Culture Network. We will get things started at the top of the hour for our main card, and it looks like it will be starting off with Ankalaev and Anthony Smith will be starting at 205. Let's take a look at the significant strikes. Moreno, 30 in round 1, 15 by Selmsberger, 37, 21, 21, 15, a total of 88 to 51. That is an insane margin for Alex Moreno to outstrike him that badly. Bruce Buffer looking like he is ready to host a bachata concert down at Whitty Hall in Sunset Park. We're going to go to the scorecards, 29-28, 29-28, and 29-28. 30-27, pardon me. Alex Moreno gets the win on a unanimous decision victory. And a big win there for the welterweight. Gets the unanimous decision win, and we will get ready for the main card. I'm so used to saying main event because we rarely call prelim fights on this show. Usually we're like right towards the end of the last one, or just the knockout happened, and they're filling time. Stanley Franklin, long time, saying 10-18. An interesting take there, 10-18. So Steph Sotilli picked 10-15. The Professor picked 10-17. I am going to go 10-16. I am going 10-16 tonight to see if I get the win here. I think Brendan got the win last time, but we'll see what happens when Brendan comes back next month. It is the top of the hour. It's 2 minutes past the hour, and it is time for UFC 277. The call brought by me, Matt Ryan. We are on Combat Culture. And if you have not liked, commented, or subscribed yet, what's wrong with you? Why are you not being cool? You gotta be cool. Gotta be a pal. Gotta be Fonzie. Ricardo Emanuel saying 10-10. That is risky. That is a risky proposition for you, my friend. But we're seeing the opening signature right now, and we'll get into the Ron Perlman. I almost said Lou Pearlman. It'd be very bad if Lou Pearlman was doing the voiceovers. I think he's dead. I need confirmation. But I do believe Lou Pearlman is, in fact, dead. So him doing that would not be good. Shout out to Stephen Kelleher, long time, joining us in the chat. And so happy to have you back there. And also shout out to everybody who's watched me on Wrestling Observer Live. I know I see Charlene, who's a frequent viewer of our show, in the chat for that. So grateful to have you, Charlene, and so grateful for everybody. No matter if you watch me here or any other place, it is really cool. And we'll be bringing you the action at the top of the hour. This coming in from my own personal instant feedback. Lou Pearlman is a piece of shit. That is not the argument. Lou Pearlman is, in fact, Lou Pearlman has allegedly done things that make him, in the grand scheme of things, a piece of shit. But I just didn't know if he was alive or dead, which was why I was confused. It's not a matter of his moral fiber. He probably has none. But I just didn't know if he was alive or not. More facts coming in that I can. He died in jail. Good. And we're looking at the opening package now, where our first fight of the night will be Magomed Ankalaev going up against Anthony Smith. We'll drop this in the Combat Culture chat. We'll drop a poll in there. We want to know who's going to win in our first fight. Let us know below. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win our opening fight of the night. Magomed Ankalaev going up against Anthony Smith. David Wilkinson saying 10-15. Going with Steph on that one. That's usually about the average. I'd say that 10-15 to 10-17 window is where we would have it. I'm taking a look at the chat here. So Stephen Kelleher picking Anthony Smith. David Wilkinson saying Smith. Matt 2337 saying Ankalaev by unanimous decision. Walking into tonight, Ankalaev has won 8 fights by decision, has yet to lose on the scorecards, while Anthony Smith is 2-3 when it comes to the judges making decisions. That is not what you want when you're walking in there against a grinder like Ankalaev. He is going to try to eat you alive over the course of our opening contest on UFC 277. And Charlene, thank you. That's very nice of you. Interesting one from the chat here. The professor said we could try. Let's try a new game and guess how many cornermen come out with each fighter. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 27. John Bruce saying 10-21. Dangerous game. Dangerous ass game by you, John, because you're asking for trouble. Like, that would be a catastrophic failure if the first fight of the night starts at 10-21. Because I don't know what the fuck I would talk about for the next 15 minutes. I don't know how I would get there. But at some point, I think I'd just start singing. And if you do want to hear me sing, all you got to do is
straight cash, homie.
Send some
Straight cash, homie.
To the super chat. Over $20 gets me singing 8 bars of any song within reason you select. And Faux Sushi saying 15. Shout out to Trigger D saying Matt Ryan, the motherfucking GOAT, live and direct to your YouTube machine. That is right. I am live and direct on your YouTube machine. Taking a look at a wide shot of the United Airlines Arena in Dallas. Charlene, did I enjoy last week? Anytime I'm off, I have a weekend off, and anytime I get to do radio with Andrew Zarian, it is a fun time. And we see John Anik looking like an insurance agent while I look like your step-uncle on a cruise. And I am your alternative announcer for the evening, Matt Ryan, celebrating my 3rd anniversary. Brendan not able to join us here tonight. Brendan Sokler usually sits to my left. He is not able to join us this evening, but follow him on Twitter, Brendan Sokler. Let him know the sweeties still support him. You guys are the sweeties, and we're so glad to have you here joining us for the program tonight. I'm the host, but you guys talk to me, and I like talking to you. Joe Rogan looking like he is under federal indictment, and just Daniel Cormier looking like somebody's dad. Just that is your announced lineup tonight. It is Anik, Rogan, and Cormier. And I am doing this one Joey style, baby, all by myself. And we will be bringing you the card tonight. Once again, Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith, Pantoja versus Alex Perez, Derrick Lewis against Sergei Pavlovich, Brendan Moreno and Kai Kara France in our co-main event. That one for the interim UFC Flyweight Championship. And then our main event for the UFC Bantamweight title, Julianna Pena taking on Amanda Nunes. Pena, a plus 215 underdog. A minus 250 favorite is Amanda Nunes. Taking a look at the chat, Trigger D saying what Rogan looks like he wants to set up an appointment to talk about the wonders of Jehovah. My man, growing up in Brooklyn, there was a Kingdom Hall in our neighborhood. And the brothers from the Church of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints would come to our park, Sunset Park, in the basketball courts. And I once saw a Jehovah's Witness in full tax accountant regalia cross the shit out of someone I know in a game of one-on-one. I don't know. It wasn't the shoes, but my man pieced him up and sent him to meet Jehovah. That's how good he was. And I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know if it's the praying. They're not the ones with the thetans, right? I don't know. I confuse it. But Eric asking, what happens when you have to use the restroom? You better hold it in tonight. You don't say things like that. You don't wish that on me. At that point, I'm just going to yell hold music while I use the bathroom and throw up a graphic. But, let's see what happens. Trigger D saying IRS out here crossing folks. David Wilkinson, that's wrong. I am not. You are hearing me ramble for 4 fucking hours. Young Ed, did you practice the fighters' names tonight? Nope. I did not. I'm walking in here. I know most of these fighters. I can say their names. Julianna Pena, Amanda Nunes. Last time, I was very tired, guys. Last show was right nuts to butts to a big show we had for Catalyst Wrestling, which we had. And you can buy that at catalystwrestling.com, and you can come to our next show. You can meet me and Brendan in person and hang out and have tacos on September 18th at our lovely home, Shiloh's Greenwood in Brooklyn. If you want to get tickets and come hang out with us, have tacos, and have a drink, go to catalystwrestling.com. That's catalystwrestling.com. Faux Sushi picking Pena. And we're getting ready for our first fight. Trigger. Shyster to the basket. And 1. Brother Matthias. Bang. Oh, I would love to hear. Oh, I want to put together a team of 5 Jehovah's Witnesses. Just 5 of them. And put them in the Rucker tournament. I want to get 5 dudes named Leon, Bartholomew, Jartholomew, Bartholomew, and Tim. That was 5, I think. That was 5. And put them in the Rucker and see what happens. Our underdog parlay brought to you by my inability to feel love and communication. Plus 215 for Pena. Plus 175 for Kai Kara France. Plus 450 for Anthony Smith. A $100 payout would win you $4,664. That's a good thing I deleted DraftKings off my phone. Whew, that'd be a spicy one. Brother, hold on. Trigger D with a good one. Fuck, that made me cough. Brother Ezekiel from the corner. Count it! Sherry Ellsbury, eloquent as ever. Underdog these nuts. Now, are your nuts dressed up as underdog, or do you feel like your nuts are undervalued or looked at as a losing proposition? Either way, this is sad. Trigger D sounds like Shib lately. Let's not talk about crypto. John Bradshaw betting $400 on Pena. So that is, if someone can do the math on that, 400 to plus 225, that sounds like you can
Great cash, homie.
donate to the super chat. You could click the $sign in the super chat and let us know if you want to give us some
Great cash, homie.
and support us here at Combat Culture. We subsist on the ad revenue and super chat. So anytime you guys watch our videos, you are putting money in our pocket. You are keeping the lights on here at Combat Culture, and we are forever grateful whenever you give us some.
Great cash, homie.
And for hitting the wrong button. There we go. And thank you, Sherry, for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Let's run through some of the notes for our opening contest. Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. It's 10-14. Will we get a walkout? We are seeing an ad for some movie, and now it's rules of the octagon time. Oh, this is looking good for me and not looking good for anybody else. What is the Gray Man? I've seen commercials for it, and I think Captain America fights the pretty man, the guy that's playing Ken. And they're explaining all of the rules of the octagon now. The 10-9 system, This is interesting. They've never done this before. This is a new method in stretching, unless they think they're getting a massive new audience tonight. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't produce their show. And Charlene Sternagel saying, new toys for Olive. Yes.
Straight cash, homie.
Will give us more toys for Olive. Olive is plotting around the house. Very sad that her mother is not here, but will be joining us soon. Ryan Gosling is in the Gray Man. Thank you, Steph. He is the one playing Ken. I forgot his name. I just remembered he was pretty. And we're taking a look at the light heavyweight rankings. Yuri Prochaska, Glover Teixeira, Jan Blachowicz, Alexander Rikic, and then you got Ankalaev and Smith. So number 4 and number 5 in the light heavyweight division rankings will be the ones facing off in our opening fight. Trigger D saying, Marvel movies lost their soul when Stan Lee cashed out. Literally, was he a Horcrux for them? Is that the right word? Is Horcrux the right word? It is 10:15, and I'm really hoping they run through the video package in like a minute. Nope, I'm fucked. But it'll be more than likely the Professor winning the challenge here tonight, and by that he gets the birthday bitch hat and also gets a sandwich. Philip Dewaz solo tonight. Yep. John Bradshaw, I take pride in streaming the fights and not giving Disney my money. See, if you click the link in our description, or if you click the link that's above your comment, you not just give Disney money, but you give us money. So, yes, you help Mickey Mouse, but then you also help Olive. Who doesn't want to help Olive? You know, Brendan needs to, look at him. Look at me, for the love of God. The most buy the pay-per-view, not in this economy. Well, we are here as the true value version of the of the calls, because while I am tremendous, while Brendan is tremendous, and our staff here at Combat Culture is the bee's knees, well, we can't bring you the actual fights. I tried bidding on the UFC rights. I did before I came to Combat Culture, but all I had was half a pack of Now and Laters and a bandsaw. Now, that ended up getting me the rights to Yama pit fighting, but I can't really do anything like that. Philip the Wise, the UFC is keeping ESPN in business. That is an interesting statement. Toker88 sending a heart to Olive. Everybody love Olive. Hashtag Smish Leg. Hashtag help Olive.
Straight cash, homie.
Having some purple coffee. What kind of Now and Laters? The blue, the 3-pack of the blue, the red, and the green. So that's the sour apple, the blueberry, and I believe the cherry, which were an active candy. And one of those things where there was a period in the 7th grade. Oh, Matt had a candy period. You don't say. Where Nerds Rope and Now and Laters were in heavy rotation for your boy, which is why I probably still need to get cracked a filling lately, a couple weeks ago. Got to get that filled. I have health insurance again, so I can actually do that. And Anthony Smith walking to the octagon, looking like the angriest backpack rapper in the world, and looking for violence. We have 5 walking out. It's 10-17, so the Professor is the one who is walking out with the win in the game. This edition, we're here for you every UFC pay-per-view. Steph's was Atomic Fireballs. Let us know what your favorite candy as a child was. That's one of those ones. And if you just want to give us money,
Straight cash, homie.
drop it in the super chat. That money goes to pay our bills and make sure we're solvent around here at Combat Culture.
Straight cash, homie.
Shout out to C4 San Diego, back in the mix, back with the program. Trigger D saying use the bandsaw to cut the Now and Laters into more Now and Laters. This is a good idea. But then you just end up getting, like, these micro Now and Laters, and you can't really chew them. You just kind of, like, swallow them at that point. But let us know, what was your candy addiction? Ooh, peanut butter cups. That's always a good one. Shit, now I want candy. Butterfinger, also a good one. And also, if you want to hear me sing I Want Candy,
Straight cash, homie.
$20 in the super chat gets you that. Who the F farted saying Swedish Fish. Brendan Sokler, the other guy, is not here tonight. Had some personal stuff he had to do. Charlene Pickett Starburst. He'll be back with us for UFC 278. If you want to thank Brendan for being a mensch. 10:19 is when he hit the curtain. He hit the walking into the octagon, but it's the walk to the octagon. Ooh, those little watermelon candies. Those are like the ones you get at a Greek diner. Did you just grow up in Jersey diners? Who the F farted? That would make sense. Toker 88, 100 grand. Caramel creams, lemon heads, payday chocolate. Payday and chocolate milk or payday chocolate milk? Was there a payday flavored chocolate milk? The hell happened in this country? Anthony Smith, the tied for the third longest active win streak in UFC light heavyweight history, with one of 6 fighters in UFC history to finish by 4 different strike types: elbow, kick, punch, and knee. You know, kick, punch, and all. It's all in the mind. That's what Anthony Smith did. He applied his parappa the rapping skills to become a great fighter and get the knockouts the way he did. Jolly Ranchers are underrated. That is true. Bring the Canadian back. What Canadian? Bit of honey. That is solid. Bit of honey is pretty solid. I could go for this. Skittles Tropical. I never liked them. Never liked them. And Anthony Smith, one of the hosts of Believe You Me with Michael Bisping. Cowtails. I've never had a cowtail. I've seen them numerous times, and Magomed Ankalaev making a quick walk to the octagon, no one with him, lightly skipping. I wouldn't say he's skipping like a grade school girl because I like all of the blood in my body. Root beer bottle caps, interesting one. Dots. Big League Chew. Ooh, nerd-covered gummies. Ooh, that 86er, that's a good one. A Zero bar and a Tammy Sosa with a Chico stick. I hated Chico sticks as a kid. They always taste like repressed memories. Lil Dad 79 saying Smith going down. David Wilkinson needs peanut butter bars. What is a peanut butter bar? I need to see what these are. Remember Topps bubblegum? I remember the bubblegum cards, but I don't remember Topps bubblegum. Charleston shoes. I love me a good Charleston shoe. I love this. This has turned into my new podcast, Candy Talk, with Matt Ryan. We're waiting for the start of our first fight. Ankalaev getting checked out now. Longest active win streak in the light heavyweight division with 8. A combat Sambo master of sport from Russia. 10th highest significant strike accuracy in UFC light heavyweight history with 54.3. Circus peanuts, Ed? Where were you raised? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? And right now, he is tied for the longest win streak in light heavyweight history. One ahead of Chuck Liddell is Ankalaev. He is tied with Lyoto Machida, and he is 5 behind John Jones, walking into tonight with 13. And you know it's a good thing when the porn bots come, because you know the chat is bumping and the show is bumping. If you want everybody you know who didn't want to drop $75 on the fight to keep up with the fight, then come on over to Combat Culture. Send them over here. It's time for the tail of the tape. Ankalaev 30, Smith 34. 1-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage for Smith. And both men walking in at 206 pounds. Smith at 6'3" with a 76-inch reach advantage. Ankalaev at 6'3" with a 75-inch reach advantage. And they are doing the motion graphics like a 2002 episode of SmackDown, and they were literally just going like this. They were bobbing up and down, and it was like a trance. Dakota 100, I'm poor, so yeah, definitely not paying $75. We appreciate you hanging out with us. That's the thing that matters. If you don't have the $75, we're here for you. If you do have the $75 and you don't want to listen to the commentary, we hear you. But we are getting the introductions here. And Ankalaev is just a frightening man. And like Anthony Smith's a bad motherfucker. He's a bad dude. And I respect the shit out of Anthony Smith. But Ankalaev frightens the fuck out of me. And Smith is a plus 450 underdog. What the fuck? That is a number. Shout out to Dakota 100.
Straight cash, homie.
Donating 99 cents to the cause.
Straight cash, homie.
Thank you so much, Dakota 100.
Straight cash, homie.
And if you have a terrible comment in the chat, you get one of those. Greatest candy ever, horsehounds. What is a horsehound as I kick the camera? More Golden Corral. I could fuck up a Golden Corral right now. This coming in from the instant feedback. You're not just in Greek diners. They are in Greek living rooms. They are the Werther's originals for Greeks when it comes to the watermelon candy we were talking about before. And Jacob Montalvo looking like the Spanish version of Jason Herzog will be our referee. Philip the Wise saying funnel cake. Fuck, where are we getting funnel cake from? And here we go with round number 1 in the light heavyweight division. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Ankalaev stepping back a little bit, more bouncy than Smith. Ankalaev in red board shorts, Smith in black spandex shorts, leg kick by Ankalaev. Smith keeping his hands up and his posture low, getting to the same level as Ankalaev. Ankalaev circling around Smith, who controls the center of the octagon, standing right in the Monster Energy logo, letting you know capitalism rules everything around you. Cream, get the money. We're all going to die now. 4:22 left to go. In round number 1, Ankalaev takes the center now. Pivoted with his right leg, attempted a kick, but feigned it away. Smith now dancing around, keeping his hands up. Ankalaev feigned the left hand. Trying to find an opportunity. Here's Magomed Ankalaev. Looking to load up that left hand. Leg kick by Smith, followed up by another one after a left leg kick from Ankalaev. Leading with his right hand is the Russian, landing both men trading leg kicks back and forth. Smith landing a right hand to the shoulder. Right aim could have dislocated that arm as Ankalaev was kind of swinging it. 3:36 left to go in round number 1 of 3. Both men still feeling each other out in the early going. Kick by Smith. Missed and blocked by Ankalaev. A left hand missed by Smith. Eats a left kick from Ankalaev. Checking a right leg kick by Smith was Ankalaev. Left hand. Ooh! Some fast left hands from both fighters. 3:10 left to go in the round. Pace picking up here as we enter the midway point of the first 5 minutes. Both men throwing rights and missing. Leg kick by Ankalaev. Left leg kick by Anthony Smith. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. 2:45 left to go. Not a lot happening here. Both men still trying to feel each other out. Kick to the body this time by Ankalaev. Kicked him right in the belly button. Right in the old tickle spot. 2:32 left to go. Leg kick by Ankalaev. Just trying to chop the tree down. Smith lands a leg kick and throwing a hard left was Ankalaev. But Smith finding a way out of that. The former light heavyweight championship contender. Looking to get back. He's in the top 5. Looking to get another shot at the title. Right hand missed by Ankalaev. 2:11 left to go in the round. Missing again with a right. Ankalaev really trying to find range in a weird way. Body kick. Spinning out of it was Ankalaev. Smith landed a shot, though. Missing with an overhand right was Ankalaev, Smith, but Ankalaev catching him with a field goal kick to the shin. Minute 52 left to go in round number 1. Body kick by Ankalaev. Ankalaev with the right hand. Looking to pace around. 96 seconds left to go in the round. Jab landed by Smith. Body kick missed by Ankalaev. Trying to step inside. Looks like they're trying to do foot stomps on each other. Ankalaev going Gregory Hines on a motherfucker, then hits a right-left combination and then a left head kick, bouncing Smith off the fence, and both men edging right back to the center of the octagon. Overhand right missed by Smith. Left jab landed by Ankalaev. Minute 12 left to go in the round. Straight right thrown by Ankalaev. Tried to grapple the wrist. Smith pushes it away. Minute 4, straight left thrown right by Ankalaev, and Smith throws inside. Ankalaev throwing some heavy combinations. Under a minute left in the round now. Pitter-patter lefts to the body by Smith. 50 seconds left to go in the round. Overhand right missed by Smith. Tried to get inside was Ankalaev with a left uppercut. Barely got Smith on that one. 41 seconds left to go in round number 1. Push kick landed by Smith. Inside, both men trying to tee off, and Smith falls down. Gets pushed down basically by Ankalaev after ducking a shot from the Russian. Now on his back, turtling a little bit, keeping his legs up, not allowing Ankalaev to dive in on him. Kick to the shins, both fighters using their legs, pushing him away. Smith with a push kick to the shin. Ooh, that one looked like it caught the ankle of Ankalaev. And if he almost hyperextended or broke that ankle off of that kick, and with 5 seconds left to go, if I was the referee, I would have stood him up. But Smith showing some skills here. Almost looked like he was about to electric boogaloo the motherfucker, and we will end round number 1. Shout out to Indianapolis. Shout out to the 805. Count the Wu-Tang references tonight. Shout out to everybody watching us from across the combat culture landscape. I am Matt Ryan, bringing you all the action. And a monstrous head kick from Ankalaev during that round just really kept the pace heavy against Smith. If I was scoring it, I'd go 10-9 for Ankalaev. Smith showed some skill there and looked like he was the more offensive fighter at the end of the round, even though he was on his back. But shout out to Sawyer. Shout out to who that farted from Sicily. And there is some swelling on the leg and the ankle of Ankalaev. They had on Anthony Smith. It looks like he tweaked it, or there's a real injury on that ankle per the commentators. Push kick blocked by Smith to start round number 2. Shout out to the 262. Ankalaev with his back towards the fence. Right hand to the body by Smith. A lot more urgency in this round. Smith with the left hand. Ankalaev gets a right. Both of these guys are lighting each other up. And Smith pushing Ankalaev against the fence, driving the shoulder, and looking to try to take down the Russian and utilize his grappling. 421, and now just trying to pull that leg out from under him. But when you're going up against a master of Sambo, and you're trying to out-grapple them, you've got to pack a motherfucking lunch, because it is going to be a long day at the office for you. Shout out to Jeremy watching us from Costa Rica. Stephen Keller, kick him in the Colby. Tremendous. Shout out to David in Hickory, North Carolina. North Carolina, take your shirt off, spin around like a helicopter. Ankalaev still pressed up against the fence. A wide base by both fighters in terms of standing. Call it the Larry Craig. These are wide stance standards from both fighters. Now Smith taking Ankalaev slowly down. Both men are Ankalaev kneeling, Smith sitting with a waist lock on Ankalaev. It looks like he doesn't want him to go. It looks like the end of a rom-com when he's just trying to stop Ankalaev from getting on the plane. 3:16, what left to go in round number 2. Punches to the midsection by Ankalaev, punching the ribs of Smith, who will not let Ankalaev go. And now in a 90-degree position, both one knee down, one knee up, is Ankalaev trying to get back to a vertical base. Just trying to find a way to get right back up is Ankalaev. 250 left to go. Smith now just holding on to the right leg. Ankalaev teeing off with shots, landing some right hands to the head of Smith, and now Ankalaev in control of the situation. Smith on his back, and now Smith trying to grapple his way out of it. He has turned this into a wrestling match. And I'm not sure if this is going to end well for him. Hot Mundo watching us from Australia. Good day to you in Australia. It is early as shit over there, my friend. Thank you so much for taking the time. And yeah, this has definitely turned into a koala situation in terms of how Smith was holding on to Ankalaev. 2:12 left to go, and Ankalaev teeing off on Smith, who was in the fetal position on his back for a second, and Ankalaev teeing off like it's the Live Golf Tour, and you're getting all of that money from those redacted, the people, the saws and all that other stuff. Minute 52 left to go in the round, and it is all over. Magomed Ankalaev beat him down in 4-4 time, getting the stoppage win in the second round, getting to 18-1. That one might win him some on a performance bonus, winning his 9th straight fight, now in the taking over the full position as having the second longest win streak in division history at 9. He is now 4 behind John Jones with 13. That is his 10th knockout. What a night for Magomed Ankalaev. That will give Anthony Smith his 17th loss in only 36 victories, 17 losses. And that's a bad night at the office. That will be the 10th time Smith has been knocked out or stopped via strikes. And what a performance from Ankalaev. Just going off and just teeing off with some amazing shots here. The Russian really showing up and showing out, getting the stoppage in round 2, and Fosushi called it. Smith getting smished, and it happened. What a win for Magomed Ankalaev. Shout out to everybody joining us, and if you like what you hear,
Straight cash, homie.
Donate to the Super Chat. Anthony Smith's left ankle is, if not broken, not in the best place. That ain't great. He is not really able to stand up, and that is probably why that fight ended the way it did. Not great for Anthony Smith, but knowing him, he'll bounce back from this and head back right onto a winning streak. But Magomed Ankalaev, if he's not getting a performance bonus tonight, he might be getting that Crypto.com bonus, and that would be a big one for him. Ankalaev will be standing alone in the center of the octagon as Anthony Smith being tended to still by the doctors of the Texas Athletic Commission. And our final poll had Smith winning 59-41 in who they thought was going to win. And once again, by TKO, Ankalaev getting the win. This coming in from C4 San Diego. Damn sad for Smith, but he isn't sniffing the belt. It's true. I don't know if Anthony Smith will. I thought a win here tonight would get him back into the title hunt. This will, a loss will keep him in the top 10. He'll probably drop down to maybe 6 or 7, or depending on how tonight, how certain things after tonight go. Ankalaev getting the microphone from Joe Rogan, who he looks like he was Mr. Chartreuse in Reservoir Dogs. Wasn't really, he was late for the job, which is why you never saw him in the movie or in any of the cutscenes. He was perpetually late. That's why they cut him from the movie. His character was perpetually late as Mr. Chartreuse, and they cut him for some reason. But Magomed Ankalaev getting the win by TKO. Some people saying Anthony Smith is done. Let us know in the chat. What do you see happening next for Anthony Smith? Will he come back? Will he be returning to the octagon, or will he retire and remain a pundit? We will find out after this. It'll be interesting to see what happens next for Anthony Smith. Ooh, and just some of those leg kicks were vicious from Ankalaev, checking some leg kicks, and just when he was in a rhythm, Ankalaev tonight was. And now you see Anthony Smith being helped to the locker room. He has 2 people carrying him to the back, and it looks like his left ankle is the one that is in a bit of trouble. Philip the Wise saying Smith beat Ryan Spawn's ass not too long ago. He's got more left. Yeah, it's true. It's salutations to Jonathan Roncone. Anthony Smith is not a bad fighter. He is not someone who should not be in the conversation as one of the top 10 fighters in the 205-pound division. But Loke making an excellent point. Anyone going 5 rounds with John Jones has lost their soul. After this, like Matt was going to commercial. Adrian Yanez, who is from there. Oh, Mike Tyson, and with his badass walking stick in the house with Terrence Bud Crawford, world champion boxer. Fought in Dallas before, fought at the Star in Frisco, Texas. He's from Omaha, Nebraska, if I remember correctly. One of the best boxers on planet Earth is Terrence Bud Crawford. And shout out to Tom Clausen, Northern Wisconsin, back again. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was an interesting night for the Paul brothers, Logan and Jake Paul. Logan Paul had his first WWE singles match against The Miz and actually had one hell of a match on what I watched of SummerSlam. No SummerSlam spoilers, please, because I'm going to watch it as soon as the show is done. Don't be a dick. Don't spoil SummerSlam, unless it's like ridiculous spoilers, like Doink the Clown rose from the dead and won the title or some shit. But Logan Paul winning in his WWE debut. Jake Paul canceling his Madison Square Garden debut. The fight that was supposed to happen next week between him and Hasim Rahman Jr. is not happening now because of Hasim Rahman not able to make weight in time. And the New York State Athletic Commission decided to they were not going to take the fight. They were not going to sanction the fight, and NYSAC does not screw around. So this was either a situation like Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell, where they would have to move the fight in a matter of a week and a half to completely just go back, do that and just make it a bigger fucking mess. Or you cancel the fight and you rebook it for an Amanda Serrano card because Amanda Serrano deserves to be a star and deserves to fight in Madison Square Garden again. Flip the Wise saying Jake Paul will never lose. Well, he's taking kind of an L on this one because this was supposed to be his first real fight against a real fighter, against Tommy Fury, but then everything that came out with Mac the Knife allegedly made that a little harder. And then secondarily to that, you have Hasim Rahman Jr. and all the issues surrounding that. Trigger D Paul versus Rahman at the Mohegan Sun is it ends up in Dothan, Alabama, like the UFC card in Albany. And I've talked to David Isaacs, one of the co-founders of the UFC, about that a few times. And it's just a ridiculous story. It's Smokey and the Bandit. It's the Blues Brothers. It's all those things at once because they had to completely make a new event in a completely different part of the country in less than 3 days. That is insanity to me. Cat's meow. Brendan Sokler, my co-host, is not here with us this week. Had a personal thing he had to attend to, but he'll be back with us next month in August for UFC 278. We are here with you for every UFC card. I'm Matt Ryan. I'll be bringing you the action as the play-by-play announcer every show. And if you like what you hear, give me a follow on Twitter at Matt Ryan Yells. Or if you could just follow us, all of our links are in the description where to follow me, where to follow Stephanie Sotilli, your moderator, where to follow Brendan Sokler, and obviously Bloody Elbow and MMA Mania.
Straight cash, homie.
The ones who are benevolently giving us this airtime on Combat Culture. Shout out to the entire Combat Culture team. Some great videos up right now on Combat Culture. We want you to head on over and like, comment, and subscribe. Jose Aldo will be fighting Merab Dvalishvili. Oh, baby. And then you have Paulo Costa. He is going to face Luke Rockhold in a battle of who's the prettiest motherfucker in the UFC for the UFC's return to Salt Lake City. That is next month, UFC 278. The next time we'll be with you for Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman 2, Electric Boogaloo. Right now, the longest win streaks in UFC history. Anderson Silva with 16, Kamaru Usman with 15. One more win for Kamaru Usman, and he will tie Anderson Silva. El Red Jones donating
Straight cash, homie.
$5 to the cause.
Straight cash, homie.
One more time, Eldred Jones. Thank you for donating $5 to the cause.
Straight cash, homie.
You are a sweetie.
Straight cash, homie.
Next time we see you on August 20th at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on Combat Culture. To be Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards, Paulo Costa going against Luke Rockhold, Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili, Mycene Tybura going against Alexander Romanov, and Tyson Pedro taking on my favorite new name in MMA, Harry Hunsucker. Shout out to ZZ Flyer. My man's. His parents named him Harry Hunsucker. Harry Hunsucker. And they're showing State of Survival, some fakakta thing. I think it's a game There's a zombie boy, and some prom woman in a prom dress. Sounds like a fucking dream I had once. Shout out to everybody here. Paulo will change the weight to 205. That'll be interesting to see if that happens. Coming up next, though, it's Alexandra Pantoja going up against Alex Perez. We are one fight into the card, and we've got a few more for you here tonight for UFC 277. I am one of your favorite loud humans, Matt Ryan, bringing you the action this evening. And if you want to follow, like, and subscribe to me, you can go to Matt Ryan Yells on the Twitter machine. And next up, it's Alexander Pantoja, who's 24-5, going up against Alex Perez, who's 24-6, in a battle in the lightweight division. This one going to be ballerific, like it's all terrific. Number 4 and number 6 in the lightweight rankings. Heading into tonight, Pantoja has a fight of the night against Davison Figueiredo. And right now, coming off a loss to Davison Figueiredo is Alex Perez. He is coming off a loss to a common opponent in November 2020. TKO window for Perez over common opponent Jussier Formiga, who defeated Pantoja early on in both fighters' careers. Perez knocked out 5, submitted 7, decision 12 opponents. He's been knocked out once, submitted 4 times, and decisioned once. And the last time we saw Alexander Pantoja lose was a unanimous decision to Askar Askarov. In that time, he's won his last 2 with a submission over Brandon Royval and a unanimous decision over Manuel Cape. And 2 performances of the night bonuses against Brandon Royval in his last fight and Matt Schnell. And a fight of the night, obviously, against Figueiredo when he lost by unanimous decision. Anytime Pantoja, when it comes to the scorecard, is 7-5 all time. So that is it's a good split, but it's not something you want. Trigger D just saying some wild shit. C4 San Diego,
Straight cash, homie.
donating $5 to the cause.
Straight cash, homie.
Saying Matt Ryan makes love to your ears eloquently, enthusiastically, making your earbuds tremble. Shit, I gotta make that. That's gonna be my headstone. That's gotta be my headstone. Like, what else could it be at that point? Young Ed saying replace Brendan with Olive. I don't think Olive could sit here for 4 hours. She couldn't sit here for 4 seconds. The fact that she's sleeping right now is a goddamn blessing. Alex Perez and when we have Steph and the professor come back into the studio, we will definitely hear Olive. But shout out to everybody. Make sure you punch that like button.
Straight cash, homie.
Ring that notification bell.
Straight cash, homie.
And once again, thank you for C4 San Diego.
Straight cash, homie.
Donating $5 to the cause.
Straight cash, homie.
We always love that. And Trigger D saying we can't afford Olive. C4 San Diego, spin kick that like button in the dick. Yes, please do that. Please, for the love of God, do that. Do that, do that, do that, do that. Alex Perez is the one getting checked out now by the Athletic Commission, getting some of that Monster Energy water, which I think is the same water Panama Lewis used in the prior fight. See, this is what happens. I can't make a classic boxing reference without remembering the other fighter in the fight. Perez winning 3 of his last 4 fights, highest knockdown rate in flyweight history with 1.42 knockdowns per 15 minutes. Second highest significant strike rate in UFC flyweight history, 5.16 per minute. Trigger D, put the submission button in a Darce choke. That's a fucking good one. Just putting the next one up for you guys for you to vote on. Will it be Alexandra Pantoja or Alex Perez, the Battle of the Als? And if you want me to sing Call Me Al, you can donate $20 to the super chat. Rhino, poor Billy Connolly. I love Billy Connolly. Punch that like button like Ed Reed. Ring that bell like it's Diego Sanchez's Mandula. Like, God. Stanley is saying chest hair flashes is getting all... I'm sorry, I just like keeping that one button unbuttoned. It's warm in the studio. I'm under all these lights. Eldred Jones, punch that like button over and over because Herb Dean is the ref and we'll let it go way too long. Fuck. Oh, you guys brought it tonight. You guys are the co-hosts tonight. You are riding with me. You are in the metaphorical chair that is off camera because I am wide and like space. But I am, got my little IFB gimmick in too, and we've got Alexandra Pantoja making his way in the octagon, back-to-back wins, tied 5th most time in UFC Flyweight Division history with 8 wins, and tied for 6th most significant strikes in Flyweight Division history with 504. Who the F farted tongue punched that like button? What do you do for a living, character? Jonathan Roncone, Pryor and Aguayo, Alexis Arguello. Fuck me. I knew the fight. I saw the fight in my head. I saw the goddamn fight in my head. And I just couldn't remember Alexis Arguello's name. And I'm really, really mad at myself for that. But thank you, Jonathan Roncone. Watch that fight. If you've never seen Pryor and Arguello 1 or 2, do yourself a favor. After this card, though. After this, you watch that. You find it on the internet. I think Top Rank might have put it up. Because it was an HBO fight. Scorch and Matt, great job tonight. Just can't pay for this one. Plus, I'm not happy with the judging. Something needs to change. I just say, you hire me to judge all the fights. You get me to decide who the judges are, and we put them through a rigorous testing process. Hell, we turn it into a reality show. And this ends with it becoming a remake of Judging Amy, but you don't judge me. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for tonight. Pantoja, the elder of the two fighters, at 32, but he is coming in with a significant height disadvantage. Well, a slight height disadvantage. 5'6" to the 5'5". Pantoja 5'5", Perez 5'6". Pantoja with the reach advantage, though, 67.5 inches. In reach, 65.5 for Perez. All of you guys in the chat, given all these Arguello and Pryor references, I love y'all. Who the F farted going a little too far. Trigger descent, I should replace Daniel Cormier. I love Daniel Cormier, but if they gave me Daniel Cormier money, I wouldn't be sad if I got Daniel Cormier money, because who doesn't want Daniel Cormier? I would give me all that money. Stephen Kelleher, what about refs standing fighters up way too soon? You start a clock. It's kind of like a pitch clock. If there's inactivity within a specific time period, you stand them up. You make it less subjective. You make it more objective. You have these points. You have these laws, these rules. I was at a bar last night with my brother Douglas, who's not my brother, but he's my brother. And we were talking with the bartender about constitutional monarchy and the idea of constitutional monarchy he believed, the bartender believed, to be the best political system after all of this collapses. We disagreed, but he made one hell of a vodka soda. Here we go, round number 1, Pantoja and Perez, and we got ourselves a motherfucking firefight. Perez and Pantoja throwing hands like he's a young Manny Pacquiao. Perez knuckling up too, and now going for a takedown. We're starting hot here in Dallas. Pantoja kneeing and Perez following suit. These guys are going off. The flyweight division is not fucking around, and now Pantoja backpacking Perez, trying to go for the RNC, holding on to him for dear life. Now Perez standing, carrying a man his own body weight, just carrying around 127 pounds on his back like it's just your groceries. Pressed up against the fence now, Pantoja figure 4ing the midsection of Perez, trying to go for the submission, trying to peel the arms away. Pantoja is trying to break this. Perez has locked his arms like this over his face and neck to avoid a submission attempt, and one arm seeped through. Perez has seeped in the left arm, trying to get the right arm in, trying to lick the RNC while another man is holding him. He has figure 4'd himself onto the back of another human being, and we are just under 90 seconds into this goddamn fight. And that's it. It's over. A backpack RNC and Alexander Pantoja gets some
Straight cash, homie.
with the bonus on that one. How do you not give him the bonus? What a stoppage from Alexander Pantoja. Tom Clausen said it best, 0 to 100 in 0.7 seconds. Good goddamn, you're right. And Pantoja giving Perez a kiss on the cheek, and a big win here for Alexander Pantoja, getting a win in just about 90 seconds. It started out as a firefight, just a straight up brawl between both of these fighters, and it turned into Pantoja just getting the grapple and then finding a way to just get in and behind him and lock it in. Pantoja was the aggressor out of the gate and then just landing shots and was able to just keep the pace going as Perez was just trying to find oxygen. And then in this situation, a quick takedown by Pantoja gets the back from Perez and never lets go. He does what Rose should have done and dragged him to the ends of the motherfucking earth, locking in the RNC after an intense grappling battle. And shout out to Alex Perez for doing all that and fighting as hard as he did with a man over 127 pounds on his back and just trying to find a way out of it. And Alexander Pantoja, maybe the strongest man in the flyweight division after that, because goddamn, I say goddamn. What a fight. What a start to this card. Shout out to Doug Abramski. We have missed, if you have not been watching with us so far, you have missed a lot. Like a fucking fair amount of wild nonsense has occurred in the first two fights. And Alexander Pantoja, Bruce Buffer making this one official. And the referee who looks like the gambler from WCW Saturday Night. And it'll be a submission win by RNC for Pantoja in 1 minute and 31 seconds. Eldred Jones asking, Matt, you think Pantoja should get the title shot? Yeah, after that, it's his 10th first-round finish. 10 of his 25 wins, so just under 50% of his wins have come in the first round. That's insane. And a shout out to AJ Alberding watching us live, saying good job with the commentary. Keep up the good work. I will. And the reason why I do this is,
Straight cash, homie.
and also because I get to hang out with all of you guys. Pantoja cutting a money promo in the home of the Sportatorium right now. And Pantoja has put himself in the tied for 4th all-time in most wins in flyweight history with 9. He is 1 behind Davidson Figueiredo for 3rd place. I would say right now you have the opportunity to drop him in there. Most finishes in flyweight history. He's got 6. He's tied with Jojo Benavidez. He's behind Demetrius Johnson and Davison Figueiredo, who both have 7. Sam Alexander Mint saying Kai all day, boys. Going with Kai Kara France in the co-main event. That is a choice. That's not a terrible choice. And we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. I am Matt Ryan. You can see it on the name gimmick at the bottom of the screen. I'm all bevved up. Don't know what to do. Vasquez Marquez is a trilogy. As a trilogy is must-see boxing. Jeffrey Burton, you're not wrong. And here we see Derrick Lewis fighting again in his home state of Texas. Man has won 21 of his fights by knockout. Young Ed, Sugar Sean, this is his great home state of Montana. That's the fucking funny thing, is that Sean O'Malley is from fucking Montana. You look at him as if Tekashi 6ix9ine and Conor McGregor did the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z inside the fly machine. That is how we got here with Sugar Sean O'Malley. One hell of a fighter. But you don't want to do the Colby Covington and work yourself into a shoot. That's what you don't want to do. And I know I look like Alex Jones in this setup, like just a one man staring at a camera, wearing a shirt with a collar. just staring and talking, saying nonsense. ZipRecruiter is now a sponsor for the UFC. That's a choice, in this economy. Who the F farted saying key holder? Douglas Abramsky shouting him out. Faux Sushi calling him Gatekeeper Lewis. Sam Alexander Mintz, I'd eat them both. What does that mean? Oh, and Alexander Volkanovski is at a Hooters in Dallas, Texas. I didn't know Hooters was still in business, to be completely honest with you. Not even trying to be a dick. I just completely forgot. And Julianna Pena earlier tonight walking into the American Airlines arena. Andrea had said to me, you just don't hawk any dick pills. I will hawk whoever will
Straight cash, homie.
give me some.
Straight cash, homie.
And that will be in the chat. If you want to donate $20, I'll sing a song for you.
Straight cash, homie.
I'd literally carnivore eat them. You need help. Shout out to Adrian in Tacoma, hanging out with us here in Tacoma today. And Amanda Nunes walking into the building. Tom Clausen, hell yeah, Hooters still around. No slight against Hooters. I've never been to one. There was one in Manhattan that I never went to, and I've never eaten their wings, so I have no real opinion of Hooters as a business. So. Charlene, what a good one here. And next up, it is thick boy season. It is a heavyweight fight, as it will be Derrick Lewis going up against Sergei Pavlovich, 15-1 in the world of MMA. But I think he got a couple of game misconducts when he played hockey in the 1980s, because that's just that's a hockey name. How are you named Sergei Pavlovich and you are not a defenseman? Like, at least a third-line winger. Like, it bothers me greatly. It makes me want Derrick Lewis to win. Motherfucker looks like a hockey... Well, he kind of looks like Fedor. He looks like Fedor's cousin. He looks like blonde Fedor. So I see why he's a fighter. But come on, dude. Your name's Sergei Pavlovich. You got to be a hockey player. What team... I want to know in the chat, what team do you think a player like Sergei Pavlovich would be playing? What team would he be playing for in that era? I'd love to know your thoughts in the chat. Please drop them in there. And also, if you want to give us some straight cash, homie, you can donate to the super chat. Sam Mintz, are you calling the fights? Yes, I'm calling the fights. We've had one fight go to the decision and one fight end in 90 seconds. So we are preparing for the third fight of the night, or co-main event, as I like to say. Shout out to everyone watching us across the Combat Culture Network. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Philip DeWise, the Atlanta Falcons. What? It's not a hockey team. Talking about the hockey teams here. Let's stay on track. Stay on track, kids. Stay on track. Stay in school. Stay on track. 1,000 points of light. Putting the next poll up. And Sergei Pavlovich will be the first one to walk out to the octagon for our co-main event. Stephen Kelleher saying the Chinese women's swim team. Stanley Franklin, the 80s Pistons. Hayden O'Rear actually said a hockey team. The Detroit Red Wings. Penn State swim. Why are you picking swim teams, Phil? Donald with the Bruins. Little notes on Pavlovich. Shout out to Sam listening in New Zealand. Performance of the night bonus 2 times for Pavlovich. Won his last 3 fights by knockout and TKO over Shamil Abdurakhimov, Maurice Green, and Marcelo Golem over the last couple of years since 2019. His last loss was a knockout by Alistair Overeem in 2018. He's knocked out 12 in decision 3. His only pro loss was to Alistair Overeem. DJ Thompson, get it red. Love what you all doing for us broke folk. If you like what we're doing, we do this every pay-per-view. So subscribe and ring the notification bell so you know when we're live. And we start 15 minutes before every UFC pay-per-view. So if you subscribe to the channel, all you gotta do is just head on over to the Combat Culture page and you're there. You're home. You can hang out with us. We're partying. We're watching the fights together. It's a party. It says it in the title. It's a watch party, fools. Shout out to the Marshall. Wow, bro. Wow. I caught that one. Shout out to Mark in East Van. Shout out to Scan BC. Clay Sharandowski, the Penguins. Pavlovich in that baby blue Pens jersey would work. The Southern Toledo Polytech Raging Sloths. I would wear that jersey. I would honestly wear that jersey. Charlene saying, go Blackhawks. Really? Blackhawks fan? Come on, Charlene. I thought you were cool. I'm kidding. But we are getting ready. Pavlovich looking everything like what you would want from a Russian heel in the late 1980s. A slight dad bod with abs, blonde hair, an imposing stare, and possibly a very understated use of the Iron Claw. Jonathan Roncone with the correct answer, which is the Hartford Whalers. It's a correct answer to any question on this show, the Hartford Whalers. Coming up next is the man who's got the most knockouts in UFC history, the most knockouts in UFC heavyweight history, both of those being 13, and tied for the most finishes in UFC heavyweight division history with 13, tied with Frank Mir. His 4 performance of the night bonuses, 3 fight of the nights, has lost 2 of his last 3 to Tai Tuivasa and Cyril Gane by TKO and KO. His last win was in December against Chris Dauskas when he knocked him the fuck out. Lost to Gane, ended a 4-fight winning streak over Curtis Blades, Alexei Oleinik, Ilir Latifi, and Blagoy Ivanov. He's knocked out 21, submitted 1, decision 4, and it is Derrick Lewis making his walk to the octagon for our co-main event. Trigger D saying Pavlovich by Iron Curtain submission, and Stephen Kelleher picking the UFC heavyweight by the way of lack of experience. Frankly saying don't go to the fridge yet. Do not delay on this one. The Black Beast, the man from New Orleans who makes his home now in Houston, making his way to the octagon, taking a big gulp of water. Derrick Lewis said at one point, USA in this hoe. And Sam Mintz saying him one of the best fighters ever. I would have to agree just from a promo perspective. Adrian Cincinnati predicting Derrick Lewis by sweaty ball heat. I feel like that should be a stoppage. Derrick Lewis wearing the best fabric shorts, the board shorts. Most knockouts, obviously, in heavyweight history. Second most wins in UFC heavyweight history with 17. And notable wins, as I said, over Curtis Blades, the walk-off against Alexander Volkov, and beating Francis Ngannou in the most boring fight, literally, in UFC heavyweight history. Tom Clausen predicting KO at 4:59 of the third. Mintz calling interesting. Mintz is Sam Mintz saying Pavlovich, one of the best fighters ever. Interesting. Oh, one of the... I didn't understand what you were saying. Kelleher saying someone's going to throw some smoke. Lewis looking focused, looking happy to be back inside the octagon, doing a bit of a dance or just trying to get his feet acclimated to the canvas. Trigger D saying the live crowd is bringing the dog out of these fighters. It's going to be interesting. That Perez Pantoja fight. God damn. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Pavlovich 30, Derrick Lewis 37. He's the oldest fighter on tonight's card. Both fighters 6'3". Lewis with the 9.5 pound weight advantage at 264 pounds. Pavlovich 254.5, and the reach advantage, a 5-inch difference. Pavlovich with 84, Derrick Lewis with 79. That one is going to be a big part of this. Abramski saying, let's get some. I'm all for this. Let's get down to the get down here. Kelleher saying Derrick trains at Hooters. Well, you know, his balls get hot because of the hot wings. It's just the breaks of the game. Toker 88 predicting Lewis by KO in the second. It's an interesting call. I'm not against it. Streets is hot in Jersey tonight as the neighborhood dogs make their way in around the neighborhood. And then we see Derrick Lewis being introduced. What do you guys think heading into this fight? Plus 130 underdog is Lewis. That is a solid underdog rate for Lewis. What do you guys think of Bruce Buffer just getting in these guys' faces, guys and girls' faces, when he does the introduction now? Like, that's been... Jonathan Roncone saying Lewis is going to hit the green mist. If Derrick Lewis pulled out some great kabuki shit And then you just see Dan Lambert dressed up as Scary Heart. I would mark the fuck out. Dan Margliotta, your official, in our next fight. Trigger D saying Tajiri style. He got that from the great Muda, who got that from the great Kabuki, Boogeyman from Singapore. And here we go, round number 1. It's a heavyweight fight. Both fighters touch gloves, and here we go. Pavlovich jumping and jiving like he's had 8 cups of coffee. Leg kick missed by Lewis. Big sweeping McAfee-esque kick there by the man from Houston, Texas. Pavlovich leading with his left. Not throwing a strike yet, and throws a left hand as soon as I say that. Does not land. Lewis backed up to the fence, near the fence, trying to find a way to get inside the kitchen of Pavlovich. Hands in constant motion. Strikes Lewis, and these guys are throwing hands. Pavlovich throwing uppercuts with impunity. He's got Lewis on his bicycle. Lewis is in trouble. Derrick Lewis is in trouble. Pavlovich lights the lamp, and it's all over in under a minute. Sergei Pavlovich getting the win. Doesn't even try to go 5 for fighting. Lights the lamp. He's got a little bit of raspberry jam on his head, but that man walking out with a bonus, and Derrick Lewis walking out with the L, and he is not happy. And Pavlovich amping up the crowd here. What a performance from Sergei Pavlovich. Second straight fight. We don't even get to the 2-minute mark. Pavlovich, we'll see again on the replay. It starts with a left hand, overhand right to the chest, and then just swinging wildly. Just started getting inside and throwing shots. Overhand rights. Pavlovich it looked it could go either way. Pavlovich caught Lewis behind the ear. From what it seems on the replay. Screws up his balance, and then Lewis tries to circle back, gets caught with a few shots, and this is where it ends. Pavlovich drops Lewis to his knees. Lewis was trying to defend himself. Looked like his knee might have buckled, and that just opened the door for Pavlovich to just start waylaying Lewis with shots and ending this fight in the first round. And Lewis was wondering what the fuck. And he is not happy about it, but that is another stoppage loss for Derrick Lewis, and Sergei Pavlovich will get his 13th knockout. I believe it'll be claimed a TKO, but either way, 13th time he has stopped somebody with the cannon fodder that he sends out with his hands and legs. He will go to 16-1. Charlene saying it best, bing bong. And what a win there for Pavlovich, and it will be 55 seconds. Under a minute for Sergei Pavlovich getting the win. And Joe Rogan running in there once again like a confused and concerned mob attorney who took his jacket off because he tore it. Because he has too much muscles. Trigger D saying Fedor is smirking somewhere. I feel like Fedor just that's what his face does. That's just it. That's what it does. It just does that. And we will think we lost you guys for a second, but we're back on here. Make sure we're still live. Here. Still streaming. Are you kidding me?